Once again, very, very, very good morning. Can I get all you guys to switch on your camera so I can see your beautiful faces and we can connect? Because just imagine when I'm delivering this training, if I do it like this, how would you feel? I feel exactly the same way when you keep your camera switched off. Right. So until my co-host comes on board because she got disconnected, she's the keeper of all the slides. I'm going to ask you guys a question, right? I want you to go into the chat box and tell me why are you here today, right? You are going to spend 3 hours with us, right? 3 hours is a lot of time. Tell me why are you here? Go to the chat box. I would want to hear from you because I believe this why is something very important, right? One of the one of the authors I really like and a motivational speaker is Simon Sinek. He talks about finding your why, the importance of finding your why. And I strongly believe whatever you do, it's very important that you find your why because when you know the purpose, it's very easy to focus on the outcome. So let me hear from you. Why are you here? What would you expect as the outcome? Get onto the chat box. So Paul is saying, I need to really break through the seemingly impossible blocks in my life right now. And Paul, you're not the only one. We all have blocks in our lives, and especially these days, because unprecedented times, so many, problems. With that, everyone really needs a big breakthrough, right? Billy says, I'm tired being stuck. And once again, I think she speaks for everyone else as well. When you are stuck, you get really tired. You're like, enough is enough. I need to find my breakthrough, right? Dilne Appa says, I'm here to elevate myself and move on to the next level of my life. Everyone needs this. Um, and says another participant says, till now I can't figure out what to do with my future self. Right. So these are some of the common problems that everyone has. So don't think that you are the only one. Don't think that you are isolated. Don't think that you are, the odd one out. Seems like everyone is having problems being stuck. And that is exactly why we decided that we will come up with Unstuck and Breakthrough. I want to ask you one more question before we start off with. Can I know where you are from? Because I know there are some participants from Sri Lanka, some participants from outside Sri Lanka. Can I know which country are you from? Right. So quickly go to the chat box and let me know. I would love to know where you are from. So people from Colombo, we have people from Kandy, Sri Lanka. Anyone from outside Sri Lanka? Jivendra is also from Colombo. We have Epsi from Philippines. Hi, Epsi. Glad to have you here.
Hi. Good afternoon from
Thank
here.
Good afternoon over there. So glad to have all you guys here. So without further ado, let's get on to our slides. Uh, Shadi, let's go to the top. Right. So next slide, please. Let me take the remote control so from this end. Right. So are you ready to get started? Right. If you are ready to get started, raise your hands. Give me a thumbs up. So I know you guys are ready to get started. Right. Thank you. Let me quickly and briefly tell you who am I, so you know why am I standing in front of you and talking about this particular topic and what gives me the right or the ability to deliver this particular training. My name is LienKay. I'm a peak performance strategist and a success coach. Coaching is my passion. Um, let's go back to the previous screen, Oshadi. Right. Sorry about that. Uh, I've been 17 years in sales and marketing, a chartered marketer, MSc in strategic marketing in terms of qualifications. I worked in big corporates, small corporates, medium-sized corporates. Finally, I got sick of the 9 to 5 journey, working under someone else. I started my own company, becoming a branding specialist, founding LienKay Design Solutions. While doing this design company, while functioning in this design company, I further invested my time to discover my true purpose and passion. And what do you know? I realized my purpose here is to help others. I started becoming a spiritual healer, then a suicide prevention counselor. Then I ended up becoming a life coach, and I'm also on an international platform called the Expert Republics. I'm a Tony Robbins graduate, a UPW fireworker, and finally an Arfin Khan certified life transformation coach. So this journey has been truly amazing, and these two gentlemen are the gentlemen who has really changed my life, right? On the left, you have seen Tony Robbins. On the right, you see Arfin Khan. Some of you would must be knowing Tony Robbins more. Arfin Khan, few of you would be knowing. Tony Robbins is the largest personality, the biggest personality in the personal development world. He's the one who introduced the word coach into life coaching. Before he started using uh, this particular, uh, before he started using the term coach for life coaching, the term coach was known only for a carriage or sports coaches. So he invented this particular term, and he has been coaching for 45 years, an amazing personality. He has dedicated his life to transforming people. I had the privilege of participating in Unleash the Power Within, which really changed my life. Then along that journey, I met Arfin Khan. He's from India. He's another version of Tony Robbins in India. He coaches the biggest celebrities like Hrithik Roshan, Shah Rukh Khan, son, and all that. But I got the privilege to study with him because he has a university. He has a university with 6,000 other international coaches. In our batch itself, there are about 200 plus international coaches. And learning under him, I got the ability to understand his way of coaching, his knowledge, which is proven across 25 years, across 49 plus countries, transforming more than 700,000 people. And it has been an amazing journey. And so I just wanted to pay my dues and introduce these two gentlemen who has changed my life. So this is a closer look. This is our Khan. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to change your mindset? Because if you want to find your breakthrough, right, the only way you are going to unstuck and find your breakthrough if you work on your mindset. And I'm going to give you a 7-step process that is going to make it a reality, right? Before getting into the nuts and bolts, I just wanted to share my contacts with you because I want you to connect with me. I'm a person who has dedicated my entire life into coaching. So even if you go into my personal Facebook profile, you would see I don't use it as a personal tool. I use it as a professional tool, right? So connect with me on Facebook, connect with me on Instagram, LinkedIn. I have my own YouTube channel. I have my own TikTok channel. Please follow these things because you get daily inspiration, video content, free trainings, and all that, right? And I also have a private Facebook group called LienKay Success Blueprint. Please look it up, join because you would get a lot of valuable content which can transform your life. Right. So I want to share this particular quote, which I really love. Right. First time I heard it, I did not understand, but more I understood it, more I started liking. This says, "How you do anything is how you do everything." Right. When you look at a person, how he does something reflects how he does everything else in their life. For an example, when you go to the bedroom of a person, you look at how their bed is after they wake up, whether it's neatly done or whether it's still a mess. Or if you open their cupboard and look at their wardrobe, whether the clothes are neatly done or is it a mess. That reflects how that person does everything else. Right? So by looking at a person and what they're doing, you can actually gauge and say whether this person is in a road for success or not. Now, similarly, do you know how I would look at you guys here in this training? and make that guess. The people who want to be successful, people who really want to make a difference with themselves, will put themselves out there, will participate 100%, will volunteer, will ask questions. But if you do not even switch on your camera for a program like this, if you do not connect, if you don't ask questions, if you don't go to the chat box and answer, that shows how you do everything else in your life as well. So if you want to change your life and become successful, I'm inviting you to, number one, switch on your camera, connect with me. Seeing a person's face is very important, especially when you are learning something. Even for me, to look at your face, ask a question, or even see your expressions, it's very important. Then answer questions, volunteer, raise your hands, go to the chat box when required, do all those things. So if you really want to be successful, start by switching on your camera. With that, let me proceed, right? Now we are going to spend 3 hours, and I'm going to be very, and I'm a very honest, upfront person, right? I don't like tricks. I don't like, pretending. I don't like working around different ways to get to a different destination, right? So I'm going to make a statement at this moment, so you don't feel like, uh, I brought you here, and what you get at the end is not what you expected, right? I'm going to give you a lot of value. I'm going to share a 7 steps where you can find a way to unstuck yourself and find your breakthroughs. But towards the end, I am going to make you an offer to work with me. But that offer is not for everyone. That offer is for few special people who believe that they deserve the best, that they have the capacity to, take their life to the next level, who have that potential, who have this dying desire to be the best version of themselves. So for them, I am going to make an offer of my program called the Success Blueprint, right? I'm not going to push anyone. It's a take it or leave it, but I am going to talk about this, and I'm going to give a mind-blowing offer that you cannot say no to. So I'm going to make a statement so you know what you're going to get at the end. For those who really want to take action, you would be excited, but for others, you can take the value from the program and end it there as well. Right. So I strongly believe when you start something, you need to set intentions and you need to talk to your subconscious, so your mind, body, spirit is in alignment to get the outcomes you really want. Right. If we don't do it at this point, we are going to get lazy, we are going to yawn, we would feel hungry, we would feel thirsty, we would feel sleepy, and we would get distracted. So let's take few seconds and set intentions. I want all of you to work with me here. Close your eyes for a few seconds, right? And we are going to talk to our subconscious and set our intentions for the next 2.5 to 3 hours. Remind yourself that you are here because you truly feel that you need to unstuck yourself and find your breakthrough, right? So tell yourself, I am here to find a way to unstuck myself and find my breakthrough, because I strongly believe now it's the time and I have to do this and I have to unstuck myself. So I'm requesting from my subconscious to support me to focus in the next 2.5 to 3 hours and to bring myself to the optimum performance level so I could really focus and get everything I can from this program, right? Tell yourself that you're not going to get distracted. You're not going to deviate from your intention, and you're going to have super unwavering focus for the next 2.5 to 3 hours. Right. All right. Let's get started. Now that we got that out, I would love to hear from you. So this is where I want you to go into your chat box. Feel free to click everyone when you are chatting. Don't send it privately to me unless you privately want to send it to me. Uh, Message in the chat box and say, where are you stuck? When we say life, there are so many different categories, right? There are so many different categories: money, career, business, relationship, family, health, name it. Now, can you tell me in the chat box, which category are you stuck in? It could be one, it could be many. Which category are you stuck in? right? I would love to hear from you guys. And I would require my co-host, my coach, Ushadi, to be my eyes and ears and read out the chat box.
Ian, can you share?
I'm getting some feedback. You will have to lower the volume on one device.
Yes. Okay. Can you share co-host on this chat as well, please? Because I'm sharing my screen with you, so I'm not gonna do anything on that to disturb your program.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, Lian.
Okay, we have a lot of feedback. Ushadi, for a moment, can you take down the share screen, please? Right. Just leave it like that. Right. So those who are joining from two devices for whatever the reasons, please keep one device muted. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of feedback. Okay. So on this, I can read the chat. That's okay, Ushadi. Right. So let's see, where are you guys stuck? And when you hear this, you would feel that you are not the only one, right? There are so many other people, and I'm not going to read names. I'm going to read the categories: money, business, career, health, again, money, career, family, money and career, money and career, health, mainly career and relationship and health, career and relationship, money, business, career, everything. So you would see everyone has an area that they are stuck in, right? And back office, I would like to request, there was a request from a participant saying that they cannot switch to everyone. They can only send messages to the host. Please work on that. Right. So you are not alone. Every one of us is stuck somewhere, right? So when you are stuck, what do? You can either get victimized and stay in that state, or you can unstuck yourself, right? Because I strongly believe in this statement: pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Now, what do I mean here, right? Because you cannot escape pain, because pain is a part of our life. Because however much we try, right, we face pain, whether it's physical pain, emotional pain, whatever it is. Just think about it, right? Getting stuck is being in pain as well, but suffering is optional. You can either be victimized and suffer, or you can actually say that you are not going to suffer and change your circumstances. So if you really think about it, this is very real, and I've personally experienced as well. And I can say this with conviction: pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional, right? So are you going to suffer if you are in pain? If you are stuck somewhere, if you are in pain, are you going to suffer, or are you going to come out of it? Let me share my story, because I was not always a coach, right? Um, you can see me sometime back, few years back, right? I look fat, I look depressed, right? And that's how I actually looked, right? And around this time, I can say I was not doing so great, right? If you look at my life from childhood up to now, I have suffered poverty in a very bad way as a child. I can remember when I was 14, there were times where my mother did not have food to make in the house, right? It was a very bad period. I can remember my mom crying because she didn't have any food to give me. I can remember when I was in grade 7 or 8, I had to walk about 10 kilometers just because I didn't have 2 rupees for the bus, right? That was my childhood, which had a lot of money related issues. And as an adult, right, I went through a 12-year marriage, which ended disastrously, right? Um, Betrayal really hit me, and I was suicidal at one point, right? And you can see while I was in the marriage how I looked like, because I looked very depressed, right? Now, why I say pain is inevitable and suffering is optional is you can choose to be in the pain. You can victimize yourself and say, oh my God, why is these things? Why do these things happen to me? It always happens to me. And, keep on suffering. But if you take a stand and say, okay, whatever happened, happened, but I am going to move forward and I'm going to find myself a way to find my breakthrough and unstuck myself, you can actually end up like the guy on the far end, right? So all of us have our own stories, right? And why I share my story without thinking twice, even the fact that I was suicidal at one point, is it could be you. It's not uncommon. I talk to a lot of people. A lot of people go through these kind of emotions when times are bad. But I just want to give a message and say there is always light at the end of the tunnel. When I was going through that phase, I thought there is no light at the end of the tunnel, but there is always light at the end of the tunnel. So, are you going to have your own story of how you became the best version of yourself? If you want to do that, the first lesson is this statement: where focus goes, energy flows. Where are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the past, or are you focusing on the future, or are you actually focusing on the present moment? Past is full of regret. If your mind works thinking about the past is full of regrets. If your mind always keeps on thinking about the future is full of anxiety, right? That's why they say the memories, which reflects the past, and imagination, which reflects the future, is not going to get you anywhere. But if you focus on the present moment, now, that's where all the answers are. That's where you would find the motivation, the inspiration, the courage, everything. So if there's someone who's saying, I've lost my drive, my motivation, my energy, my inspiration, just ask yourself, predominantly, do you spend most of your time in the present or in either past or the future? The reality is you should be spending most of your time in the past or the future. So change the way you think about this. Let's talk about breakthroughs. What is a breakthrough? Can someone tell me? Can someone unmute and tell me? I hope you guys can unmute yourselves. What is a breakthrough? Right? In the essence of time, I would give maybe maximum one or two people an opportunity to say what's a breakthrough. What is a breakthrough? Don't worry about getting it wrong because none of us are experts here. Even I'm not, right? So what is a breakthrough? Would someone like to give it a shot? Let's say, let's get it wrong. Can someone give me a wrong answer? What is a breakthrough? If that takes the pressure off. Menuri, can I hear from you? What do you think? What is a breakthrough?
I think a breakthrough is going through obstacles and going through challenges, and we are focusing on our development.
Okay, going through obstacles and challenges and focusing on your development. Super. Pasan, what do you think? What is a breakthrough?
I think it's something that can go beyond the where we are stuck and go through the the best or free version of ourselves.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you both of you for trying. Dilina Yapa Bandar has his hand up. Dilina, what do you think?
I think it's a point where we actually meet our desired success.
Okay, a point at which we meet our desired success. Okay, all those things are right, right? Breakthrough is a moment where you discover something, a realization, a powerful realization that you have not been able to achieve all this time, right? It could be a way of thinking. It could be a belief system. It could be an ability or something that you could not change all this time, but finally you are finding a way, you're finding the motivation, the inspiration to discover a way of achieving it. So you feel like it's an amazing breakthrough for you. So if you are looking at a breakthrough, let's say in relationship, in money, in career, in finance, the best thing that you can do is actually creating clarity in terms of what exactly you have to do. So we have a small activity. Quickly write down. Oops, sorry about that. I'm assuming the remote control again. Write down what one breakthrough that you want to discover in 2022. The biggest breakthrough that you really want to discover in 2022, right? What do you want to achieve? What do you really want to achieve, right? Think about your breakthrough that you really want to achieve. Spend a minute, right? This is very important, right? If someone has already written it, please feel free to unmute and share with everyone, because when you share, you're actually inspiring others as well, right? And once again, I would really love to see the other faces also of the people who have not switched on their cameras. I'm sure some of you have valid reasons like power cuts to camera not working and all that. But if you can, please share, switch on your camera and connect with the rest of the people. It creates a warm feeling. Menry, yes, go ahead.
Yes. For this year, I will focus on my public speaking skills. That's my only target this year.
Super. So
To improve
Menry
my public.
Menry wants to find her breakthrough in her in bringing out one of her abilities, public speaking. Excellent. Well done, Menry, and everyone. Please give her a big round of applause for sharing boldly with the room. Paul, can we hear from you? What would be that one breakthrough you would like to have?
The one thing would be to take my personal business to the next level.
Awesome. Taking your personal business to the next level. And that is indeed a very good breakthrough to have, right? Epsi, can we hear from you? What would be that one breakthrough you would like to have in 2022?
To finally discover what I really want to pursue.
Finally want to discover what you want to pursue. Is it like your purpose and your passion?
Yes.
Awesome. That's an amazing one. Pasan, what about you?
Yeah, I'm a little bit stuck in on some areas, and I want to go through it and complete all my degrees and other programs in this year to make a better career path.
Super. So all of us have these different stories. Like, can I hear from someone who has their camera switched off? Nisal, can I hear from you? What would be that one breakthrough you want to really achieve? Nisal, if you are there with us. Nisal sends a direct message saying, develop my personal skills. Super. Thank you very much. Malisha, how about you? Dilina Yapa is saying, getting through, oops, I couldn't read that. Getting through barriers of higher education. Okay, great.
About me, identify the best version of myself.
To become the best version of yourself. Super. So we all have different areas in which we want to find breakthroughs, right? So why I wanted you to write it down first is, without creating clarity, it's very difficult for you to create a plan on whatever to achieve, right? So here's the golden secret. Something that I've realized, something that I've come up with is, if you want to unstuck yourself and find a breakthrough, these are the 7 steps that you want to follow, right? Creating clarity. Number 1, you need to know where you are, where you want to go, and what kind of a situation you are in. You need to secondly figure out what's preventing you, because if there was nothing preventing you, you would have already achieved these breakthroughs, right? So figuring out what is preventing you. Number 3 is discovering a compelling reason, because if you don't have a compelling reason, you wouldn't do this. You wouldn't achieve it. Number 4 is finding the right tools and strategies. Number 5 is finding a robust system that can really guide you and support you. Number 6 is support and mastermind, which refers to the people around you, which gives you support, right, and encourages you. And number 7 is accountability and confidence, right? So you may just quickly write these 7 steps down, but I would be talking about each step and explaining to you how this works. Let's talk about creating clarity. So when it comes to creating clarity, the first 3 questions you need to ask in line with your breakthrough that you want to find is, where are you right now? Where do I want to be? And what is the gap? Right? So for an example, in terms of Paul's example, he wants to find his breakthrough in his business, take it to the next level. Where am I now right now in terms of revenue, in terms of the business size, whatever the statistics, where do I actually want to be, right? Put a number on that so it's very clear, and figure out what's the gap. How much of a gap is there for me to work on it? If you are looking at a relationship, right? Let's say someone is trying to fix a marriage. Where are you right now? Where exactly do you want to be? And in how much of a time? And what kind of a gap has been created for you to overcome? If you want to pass your exams, where are you right now in terms of your knowledge, your experience, your confidence in passing the exam? Where do you want to be? And what is the gap? So once you create this clarity, it really helps you to understand how much of work you need to put in. Now here I have another small activity. Let's, in the essence of time, try to do it very fast. When we say life, we have so many different areas, not just one area, right? Finance, career, business, love and relationships, family, kids and education and their future, fun and leisure, spirituality, personal growth, so on and so forth. And physical environment, which is your environment, your house, your car, the physical possessions, right? Now for each one of these, if you give a score from 1 to 10, for where you are right now, what would you give, right? So quickly write down these categories and let's take a quick minute and answer and look at your placement. Now, for an example, let's say finance and money, you want to earn $1 million a month, but you are only earning 100,000, right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate yourself right now? In your career, you want to become a CEO, right? You want to become a regional manager, whatever it is, right? But looking at where you are right now, what kind of a score would you give? In your business, let's say you want to improve your business to 350 million annual turnover, but you had a 1 million annual turnover. How would you give yourself a scoring? Love and relationships. You want to have a perfect relationship with your wife, your husband. Or let's say you are single and you want to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend and feel that love. But you are single or your relationship is not that strong. How would you score yourself? Take another few seconds and give a score to each one of these things. Then look at the gap. Right? Look at the gap and understand how much do I have to work for to get there. I can see you all writing, so I'm going to give you a little bit of time. And in the meantime, I'm asking my back office whether there was an opportunity for changing the chat settings from direct message only to everyone. Zaran, if you can please check on that.
Then we have
Feedback.
the option of choosing to message everyone.
Can you
I don't
click on
think there
that,
is a
please?
problem there.
Okay. Now it's okay, is it? But you
Yeah.
could be seeing it because you're a co-host.
Oh, okay.
Right. So now that you know what kind of a gap you have in each area, just look at those gaps. Sometimes, although this is a very small activity, I have had people doing this and saying, oh my God, I didn't realize I'm so behind for where I want to be, right? From what I want to achieve. Sometimes you might have those moments of realizations. But this will exactly tell you where your focus needs to go on, because I strongly believe life is all about balance. Pointless having so much of money when all the other categories are at 1, 2, 3, right? So real success of life is having a balanced life. So let's say you are averaging on 6, 7, 8 in all areas, that's still okay, even if you don't have 10s everywhere, right? It's about creating balance. Now, secondly, you need to ask yourself, what is actually preventing you from achieving your breakthroughs? Now, this has few areas. I want to take one of the biggest areas first and discuss about that, which is the mindset. Now, in terms of your mindset, these belief systems that we have and how our inner DNA is organized in our mind. Just think, if our body is a hardware, our mind is a supercomputer. In our mind, there is an operating system running like Windows or Mac, and that is filled with code. And if this code are negative codes, which limits your potential, which tells you that you can't, that you are not good at something, or you are not good enough, that you don't deserve something, and that you are scared that bad things will happen, it's very difficult for you to get through that kind of a mindset and find breakthroughs, right? So these 4 elements, which I call the inner DNA, are the most important areas to overcome or to put in place if you want to find a breakthrough. Your baselines are like your foundational pillars on which your life runs. I've discovered my 6 top baselines, right? My top 6 baselines are responsibility, clarity, inspiring others, gratitude, appreciation, and righteousness. Now, all the decisions that I take, as long as I take in line with my baselines, I'm really happy. And that happiness gives me the belief in myself, and it improves my potential. But if I don't know my baselines, right, I will be doing anything and everything, not knowing my baselines. That's why sometimes we feel like our life is a roller coaster. Sometimes we take decisions, but we are not happy with them at the end of the day. And that happens when you don't know your baselines. And when I work with people as a coach, we start with about 400 baselines and start narrowing it down until you find your top 6 baselines, right? It's an amazing process. Secondly, encodes. Encodes are your negative codes, right? We all have negative codes. Lessons learned from childhood, things we have seen, things we have experienced, have created a lot of negative codes. Now, when I did my negative code exercise, I realized out of the top 6 negative codes I had, 3 of them were related to finances, because I came from a childhood of poverty. I thought without money, you can't be rich, right? You can't make money without money. I thought, since I didn't come from a rich family background, I can never make enough money. I also thought you have to work really hard to make money, right? Because see, as children, we hear our parents saying money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford this. You have to wait till the end of next year to get it. Don't waste your money on these silly things. So all these things that they say create certain belief systems in our head, and not only money, relationship, and all the other aspects as well. That's why sometimes children who had a father who was always into running his own business would always want to, get into a business and not work for anyone else. And the child who was brought up with a father who always had a 9 to 5 job and said, business is not for us, will always have the same mindset, because you get programmed as a child. So who you are right now is your childhood up to this age, all the things that you've learned and experienced. Then you have your limiting beliefs, which limits your beliefs, and how your subconscious is programmed. I will just show you a quick slide of one exercise that I do with my clients when we destroy their negative codes. This is a small ritual. And this picture is actually when I destroyed my negative codes. So once I discover my top 6 negative codes, funneling down from about 300 negative codes, right? We burn them, we do a ritual, we give our subconscious an nonverbal signal saying that you're from today onwards, these encodes do not exist. And we actually convert it into empowering codes and do what is called a subconscious programming to establish the encodes, right? So as you can see, this is pictures from my end, and all my clients actually cherishes their pictures and their videos of burning their encodes, their negative codes, because this can truly be a life transformation. So that is the mindset. So what is preventing you? Number one is mindset. Number two is the state. If you are in a bad state, you can't find a breakthrough, right? Just imagine if you are in a state where you feel so worthless, right? Not yourself. Do you think you're ever going to find a breakthrough? But think of the last time you found a breakthrough. I'm sure you were in an amazing state, right? You were feeling ecstatic. You were feeling so energetic, motivated. So when you are in a great state, you can find your breakthrough. That is the second most important thing. So state can really prevent you from finding your breakthroughs if you are not at a great state. Number three is the story that we tell ourselves. There's a lot of stories that we tell ourselves. I'm a procrastinator. I'm not so good at it. I don't deserve it, right? I am lazy. I always get late. Aren't there things that you tell yourself, right? If you can think of one thing that you always tell yourself, positive or negative, put it in the chat box. I'll read it out, right? I used to tell that I always get late, right? I'm so unlucky in love, right? I used to tell I don't have the money, right? I can't do it, right? I'm not good at it. I don't look good. These are some of the stories that we keep on telling ourselves. So if you change your story, you change your life. If you start telling, I'm the best, right? I can do anything if I set my mind to it, right? I look so good. I look so beautiful. I look so handsome, right? Self-love, self-worth, things like that. When you change your story, your potential changes, and that helps you to discover your breakthroughs. Number four is the people around you. If you have toxic people around you, if you have people who does not add value to your life, you will never find breakthroughs, right? My circle of friends have completely changed in the last 5 years. When I look at my bestest of my friends from school that I used to really love hanging out, and my work colleagues, none of them are into personal development. But if you look at them, they are stuck in their life where they are, right? So I had to change the people around me to positive people, people who has a drive to improve themselves, people who have that motivation, people who love helping others, the positive kind of people. And that really changed my life. And I'm a coach here today because I did that change. So people around you is the next thing that really prevents you from finding a breakthrough. Finally, the knowledge, right? So it's Tony Robbins always say it's always 80% psychology and 20% strategy, right? So this is the strategy part, the knowledge, right? The tools, the strategies, and all these, tools, the strategies, the formulas, activities that you do, right? Now, talking about tools, strategies, formulas, and activities, I just want to share one formula that I share with my clients when I work with them on coaching, right? Because in the essence of time, I can't cover everything, but I'll just give you one tiny idea, right? I always talk about a decision-making formula. And finding this decision-making formula makes a world of a difference for my clients. Now, let me ask you this. Would you agree, right? I want you to say yes or no in the chat box. Would you agree that we are the decisions that we have made in our life so far, right? Would you believe that we are a collection of all the decisions that we have made in the past? So go to the chat box. Let me know what you think. Yes, yes, of course. Yes, yes, yay. Yes, with a lot of S's. So everyone agrees, right? And if you travel back into the past, right, like in those sci-fi movies, and change one decision that you have taken and come back to your present moment, sometimes everything would have changed. That's how powerful decision making are. But tell me this: did your school ever teach you how to make decisions? Did your parents ever tell you how to make decisions? Has anyone taught you how to make decisions, like given you a structure, given you a formula? No, right? How do we take decisions? By shooting in the dark. Just imagine putting a blindfold on giving you a gun or a bow and arrow, and you are asked to shoot at a target. You may hit, you may not, right? So we keep on taking different decisions until something works out. If something doesn't work out, we change the decision, right? And the worst thing that we do sometimes is ask our friends. Sometimes they have no idea, they don't know better than us, but we still ask them. What if you had a formula to start taking decisions, a set of questions to ask to arrive at the right decision? Just imagine how powerful it would be and what kind of a profound impact it can bring into your life. So every time you take a decision, earlier you had no formula, so 0% success, right? You may or may not get a good outcome from it. But with a formula, let's say even if it's 60%, 70% successful, still you're going to have a better chance of taking better decisions and enriching your life. So like that, as a coach, I use a lot of different tools, formulas, strategies when we work with clients. So that is number 2 in terms of the 7 steps of finding a breakthrough. Let's talk about step number 3. This is very powerful. Step number 3 is about discovering your compelling reason. Now, if you guys had enough motivation and drive to achieve your breakthrough that you're looking for, already you would have achieved it. The fact that you have not achieved it also says that there is no enough drive. So you need to find a compelling reason to achieve this. So some things that you can ask yourself is, what happens if I don't achieve my breakthrough? Right? And you can also ask, you can also make it a must, because for most of you, this breakthrough is a should, right? Something that's good to have, but not essential. But remember, if your breakthrough is not a must have, you would not do it. So convert it into a must. Don't make it a should. Don't make it something that it's good to have. You need to say, I have to achieve it. Every goal that I wanted to achieve in my life that I have achieved, when I look back, it's something that I absolutely had to achieve. Not something that was good if I achieved it. Even if I didn't, it doesn't matter. You know, I haven't achieved anything like that. So you have to make it a must. And you need to write down your compelling reasons to make your breakthroughs, right? You can have one big compelling reason, or you can have many compelling reasons. It's completely up to you. Now, when I try to achieve something, I always remind myself of my compelling reason. Who would like to know my compelling reason? Can I see a show of hands? Can I see a show of hands if anyone would like to see or know my compelling reason? Right? This is my compelling reason. My son. Simply thinking about him, thinking about being a good dad to him and creating that perfect life gives me enough boost to get through the darkest days in my life. I'm sure like that, you also have your compelling reasons. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be something you told yourself, maybe based on a past incident, saying, you know what, I will never let that happen, right? I will make sure I will, become the best version of me. Or it could be a person. It could be anything like that, right? So find your compelling reason, because remember, if you discover your compelling reason, you will have the motivation and the drive to get past your darkest days, your most laziest days, and find that ability to make a change, right? Let's talk about the 4th step, tools and strategies, right? Now, this was the 4th step, tools and strategies. Now, in the process of trying to find your breakthrough, you absolutely need some good tools, strategies, formulas, activities, execution, basically taking action, right? Because if you don't have a good set of tools and strategies, no matter how much you work on your mindset, you don't have the right tools to execute it. So in order to find your breakthroughs, what kind of tools and strategies can you use, right? And these tools can vary from certain formulas, certain activities, certain frameworks that we use, right? So when I work with clients, there's a large variety of different, let's say, tools and strategies and activities and formulas that we use. Now, depending on your breakthrough, whether it's a relationship breakthrough or a money breakthrough or a finance breakthrough or a career breakthrough, you need to discover the right set of tools and strategies that will work for you. Because what works for you might not work for the other person, because your breakthroughs are in different areas of life. But at the end of the day, what matters the most is taking action, right? Because if you don't take action, nothing happens. But here's the problem. When you are lazy, when you are lethargic, can you take action? When you are demotivated, when you don't have that drive, can you take action, no matter how much important it is? Right? Can you? It's difficult, right? So if it's difficult, what can you do? How can you actually take action when you are not at your best state? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about how are you going to take action if you are not feeling your best? Now, let me share something which is called the success wheel, through which you can actually figure out how to break this pattern and take action, right? So when you're not at your best state, you don't feel like taking action, right? You don't know what to do because you feel very demotivated. And then you don't believe in yourself, you don't have a potential, right? But even when you're feeling like that, to break that cycle and to give you results, where it starts is by taking action. If you are a person who listens to Tony Robbins, he always talks about taking massive determined action, right? So it's like taking that leap of faith. It's like bungee jumping. It's like skydiving, right? You are at that edge where nothing seems to be working, but you pull yourself together and say, you know what, I'm going to take massive action, right? So what this framework says is, when you take action, you get results. Very straightforward, right? When you take action, you get results. And when you get results, your belief improves. Because why? Now you are getting results and you're like, wow, this is working, right? I feel great, right? Your result, the results you get determines the belief in yourself. You started believing in yourself. When you started believing in yourself, what happens? Your potential increases. And as humans, we have unlimited potential, right? You feel like, you know what? I can do more. I can do even better. Why? Because now you're getting results and that makes you believe in yourself. When that potential increases, what happens? Your ability to take more action. You have the ability to take more action. So what happens is, when the potential increases, you take more action. When you take more action, you get more results. When you get more results, you have more belief about yourself. When you have more belief about yourself, you have more potential. And again, when you have more potential, you take more action. So this starts like a cycle and starts picking up momentum, right? So when you start this wheel of success cycle, it's never ending, because why? It keeps on picking up momentum, just like a snowball. It has a snowball effect. But the secret is, you need to start it from somewhere. And the best place to start is by taking action, right? I told you I was not always a coach. I was not always like this. Let me tell you how I broke the pattern, right? And that story is quite amazing, because when I think about the story, that overwhelming feeling that I had at that moment, I feel it once again. So this was a couple of years back. I participated in Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within workshop, right? Now, this is not like any other training or coaching program. This had about 15,000 people. It happened in Singapore at the expo. 15,000 people from all over the world, right? You see fire there, because on the first day, the day ended at 2 a.m. in the morning by walking on fire to get rid of our fear. And yes, I walked on fire. I'm a fire walker, right? I've never done that before. I was really scared, but I did it. And that gave me the confidence to say, you know what? If I can walk on fire, I can conquer any fear, right? And this is not like any other training program, because per day. I mean, you started about 8 o'clock in the morning, goes till about 12 o'clock in the midnight. First day it ended up at 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's like an intensive training for 4 days, right? You don't get bathroom breaks, you don't get lunch breaks, you don't get breaks to eat. You do everything while you're at the training itself, right? It's an amazing experience, and it's like a massive music festival. It's not where you sit and listen to him. There's music, there's dancing, there's lights. It's amazing, right? So the story goes like this. I was a general manager in a company. Although I was a general manager, like most of the people, my expenses were much more higher than my income. So life is not great, right? From outside, people would be like, wow, he's a GM, he drives this, you know, his lifestyle is this. But inside, it was pain, it was agony. And I was depressed. And I was in a bad relationship as well, a toxic marriage. So because of that, I was not in a happy place. But at one point, I told myself, you know what? I need to make a change. Enough is enough. At that point, I met a wonderful gentleman who introduced me to Tony Robbins. And I've been listening to Tony Robbins quite a number of years on YouTube, and I really loved his teachings. And he said, you know what? Tony's coming to Singapore, a 4-day workshop, Unleash the Power Within. Would you like to go? I asked how much it is. He told me the amount. I flipped. Because why? Although I was a GM, I did not have that money in my account, and I did not have the capacity to pay for it. But at that time, I changed the question that I asked myself. Instead of asking, can I afford it? I asked myself, how can I afford it? By just adding that one word, how, in front of can I afford it, it made a huge difference, because my subconscious understood I'm not asking permission whether to afford it or not, or whether I can afford it or not. I'm just telling I want to do it, and how can I afford it? And that started giving me a lot of answers in my head. Long story short, I ended up going to the bank, requesting for a credit card. I was the guy who never used credit cards before, because I have got blacklisted as a young adult when I started my career. I didn't believe in credit cards after that. So because of that, I did not use, but this time I said, you know what, as a GM, I can show my pay slips and easily get a credit card with a good limit. Let me do that. So I got a credit card. By the time I came, it was 2 weeks. It has gone 2 weeks for the process. The price has also increased. I think I ended up spending about 2.5 to 3 lakhs for the entire process. When I paid from my credit card, that was my point of taking action, knowing that I don't even have the finances to pay back because my desire was so much. I paid from my credit card, and that time my heart started pounding and my eyes teared up. And that was not tears of joy. In a way, there was tears of joy as well. But mostly, I was scared. I was scared because I didn't know, even if I converted it into monthly installments, can I pay that installment monthly? Because financially, I was in a bad place. But I told myself, right now, I'm going to focus on what I need to do right now. I'm not going to focus on the future and not take this action, because I really want to change my life. And by doing that, thankfully, in 18 months, I paid off the entire due. I didn't have a problem of figuring out ways to pay it. Money came because I made a commitment, because I strongly believe when you make a commitment to yourself, even the universe starts conspiring to help you, right? And that actually happened. And going to Tony Robbins training really changed my life. Because when I was in that point of having suicidal thoughts when my marriage ended,
Okay, guys, we are having a small technical difficulty. Please bear with us. Lien will be back with us in a bit. Right. So go hydrate yourself. If you need a bathroom break, now is your opportunity.
let's hold them a little bit longer, Osha, because I'm back.
Lien, you're on mute.
Can you hear me?
No, I can't.
Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me.
No.
Okay,
can
others
hear
are
you.
saying they can hear me, Osha.
Okay. Good. Sorry.
Sorry about that, guys. Power cut. Power just went and just came back. So at that point, like I said, when I was going through the suicidal phase after my marriage failing, there was one point when I really wanted to give up. I told myself, you know what? If I walked on fire, this is going to be nothing for me. And that gave me a lot of courage to face all my fears, all my disappointments in the eyes, and tell myself I'm not going to be a victim anymore, and I'm going to find my way forward. And if all those bad things never happened to me, I wouldn't be a coach today, right? So coming back to the point, this was where I took action. And I learned, if you want to succeed in life, without giving yourself all these reasons, you have to start taking action. Because what are the usual reasons we tell ourselves? I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I'm not old enough, I'm not young enough. We will find some reason to tell ourselves, right? So all these reasons that we tell ourselves would always just take us down, will keep us way away from all the things that we want to achieve in our life. So one of the biggest things that you have to do if you want to discover your breakthroughs and unstuck yourself is taking action. Now, once you start taking action, it really gets to you and it becomes a habit and you become an action taker. An action taker is a person who would always go to that edge and jump, whether it's bungee jumping or skydiving, right? Because entire life is like that. Bigger the risks, higher the rewards, right? So you start taking not uncalculated risks, obviously calculated risks, but you get into the habit of understanding by taking action, by taking risks only, you can get forward, go forward in life, right? Playing safe, stay in your comfort zone, you will never get to the point you want to get in your life. My advice to you is, if you want to do good in any area of your life, whether it's relationship, finance, business, whatever it is, don't play safe. Get out of your comfort zone, because growth happens outside your comfort zone, right? And I did not stop there. If I tell you all the different types of actions I've taken in line of, let's say, personal development, after Tony Robbins, I again invested in another coach. That program was also about 200,000. Once again, I did not have money when I did that. I spoke to the gentleman who was doing the program and I said, I really want to do it. I really, really, really want to do it, because at this point in my life, I really need to find my breakthrough. What can you do? I will obviously pay, but I can't pay right now. Now, if I told myself I can't afford it, I don't have the time, I would not even have that conversation. But because I had that conversation, he gave me some options which I could consider. But once again, I didn't know how I could pay. I just signed up for that program. And that program was one of the pivoting points in my life to discover my, to act on the purpose and passion that I've discovered and to become a coach. If it wasn't for that investment, I wouldn't have become a coach as well. Right? And later on, then I found a wonderful gentleman called Arfin Khan, right? Once again, he changed my life. Meeting him, going to one of his programs like this, listening to him, understanding that I could become a coach in his university, gave me a remarkable opening, because I've been trying to become a coach, doing a lot of things for years and years. And you know, when you try to invent the wheel and do something of your own, even if it's a business, right? You do something, you get it wrong, it's all trial and error, right? And it sometimes demotivates you, even if you're passionate about it, because you don't get results. This gentleman, with his robust system, with his educational platform, with his university, with his support, with his accountability, gave me the opportunity to fast track what I wanted to do. And the last time that I took another leap of faith and took action was when I invested in Arfin Khan's program, not one, just two. But in both those instances, about $10,000 in total, right? When I invested, I only had $300, which just covered the initial deposit that I had to come. I did not know how to pay the balance. I just went and paid it, because you know why? From my experience, I knew if I made this commitment and I started the journey, everything else will fall into place and I will find the money. It's like jumping into the deep end. If you want to learn to swim, don't jump into the shallow end, jump into the deep end. You will get one of the two results. Either you will sink and die, or you would somehow manage and get to the other side, because you have to, and in that process, you will learn to swim. Now that is a big risk, because you have 50% chance of sinking and dying. But what happens when you jump into the deep end with your coach? Your coach is not going to drag you and swim to the other side. He's not going to even touch you. He's just going to be there, see how you're doing it, motivate you and tell how to do it properly. But if you sink, He's not going to let you die. He's going to pull you up. So you have this amazing sense of confidence that you are never going to fail, but you have to try so hard and learn in the process and get to the others. Right. So this has been my journey in terms of taking action. And the only thing I want to tell you is, don't be scared to take action. Ask the right questions. And if you really want to do something, if you know that something is really going to change your life, be bold, take action, because all those limiting beliefs you have in your head saying, I don't have this, I don't have that, will this work out right? Will this give me the results? Can I do this? All those things will fall into place if you take action. Whether it's investing into business, whether it's doing an exam, whatever it is, whatever you do, do it with 100% heart, and you would definitely make it through. Number five in this process is the system, right? Now, when you want to find a breakthrough, yes, mindset is important. Finding a compelling reason is important. All those things are important. Tools and strategies are important. But are these tools and strategies laid out in a proven system that really works? Something that is systematic, right? Now, if you have a machine, if you input this product here, you get a certain amount of output coming out. So you know exactly every time you use this machine, you are getting that same amount of output for a particular amount of input. Similarly, having a robust system that really helps you in a proven way, in a systematic way, in a process that works is very important. Find your breakthroughs and unstuck yourself. Because otherwise what happens is everything you do is not sustainable. So number 5 is, in this journey of trying to unstuck yourself, you need to find a system that has a proper process, a proper methodology that is created to give you a certain outcome. Not only for breakthroughs, this is for anything that you do in your life. For anything that you do in your life, if there is no proper process without a proper defined outcome, once again, it's like shooting in the dark. You don't know what you're doing. You're just getting up and going with the flow and doing the stuff without any plan. So remember, you need to invest in a system. There are so many different systems out there in the world. If you search online, you might even find systems that are shared free, right? As a coach, I have created my own system, right? 60% of it comes from the knowledge of my coaches. So tools and strategies that has been, and systems that has been proven across 25 years with about 600,000, 700,000 people. I've taken that, I've put my life experiences, my knowledge, and created my own system. I'll just show you a glimpse of what that system is, right? So I've created something called the Success Blueprint, which has 6 modules, right? There's a lot of text. I don't want you to read it, right? I just want you to focus on the headlines, which has 6 modules that helps you find your breakthroughs in your life, right? Your ultimate self-discovery is a journey where you discover your true self, right? The decision-making formula, the one that I said, which gives you the knowledge to how to properly take a decision. Success formula, a formula that guarantees you success every time you do something. So you have a formula to apply to every project that you do. Happiness formula, a formula that helps you to live a happy life, find that true happiness in your life. Make more time formula, which is a formula that creates a proactive way of living. So you can actually end up saving about 1-2 hours every day, which you can use on yourself or the people that you love to do the things that you love. And finally, something called the champion formula, which you can apply on any goal that you want to achieve. Right? Now, this is the method that I have created myself to find breakthroughs and to get to where you want to be. And I've laid it out in a 12-week journey like this, very systematically. And why I'm showing you is because I'm talking about systems, processes, and how a system needs to be laid out for you to find your breakthroughs. So this is my system, right? And having this system helps me to deliver the same consistent outcome to my participants every time, right? Now, I would let you hear from a person who has actually gone through this system and who have understood how much this system helps a person to find a breakthrough, right? So I'm going to take 2 minutes from our time and let's listen to Oshadi, who is with us, Oshad, if you can briefly tell us your experience in following this systematic process and how it has helped you to find the breakthroughs and what kind of breakthroughs really you managed to find.
Right. When I started this program, I was in a very messed up state. If you guys have got your personality reports, you know how they have listed down 5 states. I was in the destructive state, right? So, and now today I hover around a very good state and a good state most of the time. And then I do have my odd days of getting down to average. But then now I know because this process that the system it has tells us how to maintain on good and good state or a very good state, right? So that was number one. Understanding yourself was first the first breakthrough I had, because although we think that we really know ourselves, what I realized is if you take the entire world, all of its people can be put down into eight or 9 categories, and we would have so many things in common, right? And sometimes that is one of the reasons why you click so well as well, right? So when you have a knowledge of who you are, it's very easy to understand the decisions that you take, why you take them. Now, I'm a reformer by my personality, and obviously reformers are very, very nitty-gritty people, right? They are very, very organized and try to be a perfectionist in every single thing. So now I know, okay, I thought that was just me, but no, that's my personality. And all of the reformers are like that. And when I know I'm a reformer and that I need this perfectly, it's very easy for me to work with another reformer, right? Because we align so well, right? So that was another breakthrough for me, because it really helps. I'm a general manager myself, and I have to take a lot of decisions. I have to couple people up so that we can get the maximum out of them. So all of these understandings really help me. And then if you there are like Lian said, like there are so many other areas, like for example decision making. So I always used to go with my gut feelings, and I knew my gut will take me to the correct destination. But now I know there's only 9 questions I have to ask myself. 9 questions, and I know I will have the right decision on my hand. Yes, my gut helps me a lot. I'm not denying that. But the 9 questions make it more certain for me, right? And then if you take the happiness formula, like what do you need to do? Like we can't be happy all the time, every day, throughout the day, right? But then what can you do to keep yourself happy? These are like little things that Lian's program definitely shows you, and who you should hang around with. You know, they say the 10 people around you creates who you are, okay? Because they have so much influence on you. Fortunately, I'm one of the 10 people I hang around is Lian. So I have I have a very good reason to be happy, to be focused, to achieve the things that I want to achieve in my life. Not only did he show me this system, he even encouraged me to become a coach. I'm an Arfin Khan trainee coach as well at the moment. I have a couple of weeks to go to get certified. So what I'm saying is, this journey has been mind-blowing. So anybody who wants to change their life, so I told you, I was from a destructive state to a very good state. It's a very long time, right? So it's a long journey. So please, if you want this change for yourself, join in, hold hands, because we walk through together. We never let anyone behind. You have an amazing support system from all the people who have joined here. So make that decision to join there. I'll guarantee you that he'll change your life.
Thank you, Oshadi. Appreciate your feedback. So my main highlight on was on the system, right? So a robust system with a 12-week process, or if you're doing the express a 4-week process, that guarantees you a certain outcome. It's like having a machine saying, if I put in this much of time, this much of effort, I'm going to get this kind of breakthroughs. And that really helps you because you know the time and the effort that you invest in a system like that is worthwhile. So be sure to find a system that serves that purpose. And one of the things that Oshadi was mentioning was the support. And that is actually the 6th point in finding a successful breakthrough. Now, you cannot find your breakthroughs and unstuck yourself if you don't have a proper system and the right people around you. And just think of this. Think of the 10 people that are closely associated by you. The 10 people that you meet most of the time, your friends, your family, your colleagues, whoever that you hang out most of the time. Now, if you want to become a millionaire, ask how many millionaires are there in that circle. If you want to buy a Ferrari, ask how many Ferrari owners are there in that circle, right? If you want to start a business, if you want to become an entrepreneur, ask how many entrepreneurs are there in that circle. Similarly, if you want to get divorced, ask how many divorcees are there in that circle, right? It just works just like that because you become the average of the closest 10 people that you associate. Now, for an example, let's say you want to get into cryptocurrency, NFT, and investing in financially in the newest trends in terms of technology. Just imagine you trying to do it like that by yourself and replacing your mastermind circle. I call it a mastermind circle, the closest 10 people that you associate with 10 people who are already investing in cryptocurrency, trading NFTs, and making millions. What will happen to you if you spend 3 months with a set of people like that, meeting up for beers or coffee or going out on trips and hanging out, even as friends, not to talk about business, but if you change the circle of your friends, the closest people that you hang out, you automatically become like them. So when you look at the people that you have, you need to ask, do you have a set of Avengers to fight these odds and be the strongest version, or do you have toxic people? And sadly, for most of us, we have a lot of toxic people in our lives. Sometimes it's our parents, sometimes it's our spouses, sometimes it's our best friend. Right? So how do you deal with these things? You need to understand, right? Because remember, the support and the mastermind, which means the people around you, is the 6th most important factor that will help you find your breakthroughs. And talking about support system, when you're in a journey trying to find the best version of you, find those breakthroughs, achieve something, you need to have a safety net to fall back on. Because life is not going to treat you the same way every day. You are going to have times where you feel sad, you feel upset. Who do you call when you feel distracted, emotionally out of balance? Who is that friend? Is he a friend who has that knowledge? Is he a friend who is professionally trained to help you? Or is it a person who's just giving their opinion? Now, I'm a part of 4 masterminds. Masterminds with people who work with me, mastermind with the Arfin Khan University coaches, a mastermind with another set of people who invest in these digital currencies and focused on making money, right? Working on your millionaire blueprint, right? So likewise, I have access to few masterminds which I'm a part of. Now, being with them, working with them, meeting them digitally and physically, frequently, I learn from them. I share my knowledge. I hear what they talk. I understand the language they talk. I understand how they find their breakthroughs. And when I'm stuck, they help me out. And because of all these reasons, it helps me to become the best version and find my breakthroughs. I'll tell you another story from a personal experience. In 2009, I resigned from my job at that time at Dialogue because I wanted to be an entrepreneur. That was a wrong decision I took because suddenly I said, you know what, I'm going to do my own thing and resign without any plan. And I learned that it was a very bad way of trying to become an entrepreneur. Then after a while, I got back into a job after 6 months because it did not work. But from that day, from 2009 up until 2019, I've been trying to become an entrepreneur. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I really knew I wanted to be my own boss. Trying that so much, I spent 10 years. Nothing happened, nothing other than coming up with million and one excuses why I couldn't become an entrepreneur. My subconscious was so great. My mind was so great in giving excuses why I couldn't become an entrepreneur. Then in 2019 or 18, I joined an organization called BNI. It's a group of business owners who meet up weekly for networking. At that time, I was representing the company that I was working for. I spent 1 year with them, but the 1 year that I was with them, I made a lot of good friends. And I started learning how a business owner operates, the language they talk, the risks they take, how they operate. And automatically, by the end of that 1 year, I have resolved all my concerns, which I had for that 10 years. And suddenly, I decided to quit my job and started my own design firm, right? Because I felt so confident having this mastermind, I would never fail. If it wasn't for that mastermind, I would have never become an entrepreneur. And if I never became an entrepreneur, at some point I wouldn't have become a coach. So there's a lot of power in finding this support and the mastermind. And that is a game changer for you. So the 6th most important fact, to discover your mastermind, to discover your breakthroughs and your to unstuck yourself is the support and the mastermind you have. So quickly, just think of the closest people that you associate, you meet, write their names down, right? And ask yourself questions like, is there a person who can challenge the way I'm thinking? Like, because sometimes when people challenge your way of thinking, it helps you to grow, right? Are there people who motivate me? Are there people who inspires me? Are there people that I can learn from? Or are all the people who hang out with me, let's say, one step lower than me? Am I not getting any value from them, right? Are there people who have already achieved what I want to achieve in that circle, right? And even simple questions like, are there people who make me laugh? Are there people who make me have a good time, right? Or are there toxic people? Are there people that I tolerate, that I despise being with, right? And if so, how can I deal with them? Because if you do not readjust your mastermind, you cannot become successful. But I don't mean to say tomorrow you have to go and say, you know what, I'm not hanging out with you guys. That's not the way to do it. Because surprisingly, I don't think that gentleman is here. He was supposed to join. He said this thing happened to him. One day, one of his best friends came and said, you know what, from tomorrow, I'm not hanging out with you guys. That's a very bad of happening, right? Gracefully handling it, understanding who gives you value, changing your mastermind cycles and growing with them. And that is something that you definitely have to do if you want to find your breakthroughs. Because there's this saying that I really like. Alone, you can go faster, but together you can go further. Just imagine, it could be a journey through the jungle, climbing the Everest. Going by yourself, you can absolutely go faster because your speed does not depend on anyone else. But what happens if you sprain your ankle? What happens if you have an injury? You get stuck. But if you go as a group, when you get stuck, others will carry you. Others will help you. Others will treat you. So even in life, alone you can go faster, but together you can grow further. Now, this is why even when I work with clients, we work as a mastermind, right? Our groups help each other, share their breakthroughs, share their realizations, motivate each other. If you feel like someone is lagging behind, you call them, message them, ask them whether everything's okay, right? And we meet once a month to create that mastermind so we can learn from each other. And when you do a journey like that, hanging out with people like that who are positive, who have that drive to be the best version, you automatically get into that pace and start making progress in life. And this is true for everyone. Number 7, and the last step of finding your breakthroughs is accountability and confidence, right? You need to have accountability to push you when needed. You need to be able to hold yourself accountable. There needs to be someone to hold you accountable, right? And you need to have a sense of confidence in this journey, because you need to know that you have a safety net to fall back on. If you fall, you're not going to hit the ground, right? So you need to have that assurance and confidence. So if you are trying to find a breakthrough, whether it's business or relationship or studies, whatever, does your system have a way to give yourself that accountability, right? Do, do you have someone to hold you accountable? Do you have that safety net? Do you have that assurance and the confidence that there is support to hold you accountable? It's just like that example that I told you of swimming with your coach. When you jump into the deep end, do you know that there is someone to push you and give you confidence to swim to the other side? Do you know that you have someone to hold you accountable to accomplish your targets? But at the same time, do you have that safety net, knowing that if you drown, that someone is there to bring you out? Because when you have that kind of accountability and confidence, your potential increases. When you try to do it all by yourself, sometimes you get distracted. How many of you have signed up for a gym, right? And after a couple of weeks, stop going? I have done it many times, right? And I know there are so many people out there who have signed up for a gym, gone for a couple of days, and then stopped. Why? Because life distracts you. How many of you have gone for an amazing training, learned so many things, and when you came back, right, after about a couple of days, got really distracted with life? It happens, right? But what if you had a set of people holding you accountable, doing momentum sessions monthly, pushing you to make sure you don't forget the things that you learn, to make sure that you don't get distracted, even if you're going through a crisis, to ask, hey, are you okay? Can we help you? What if you had that set of people? Even in your business, let's say you are going to multiply your business by 5 times or 10 times, right? Are you going to do it by yourself? Or are you going to work with someone who's going to give you that confidence and that accountability and follow through and say, have you done these things that you're supposed to do this week, right? What is happening? It seems like you are getting distracted. Can I help you? Are you facing any problems? Giving you that confidence. Because for most of us, the only resource we have is maybe our friend. But going to your friend is not going to help you for 2 reasons. One is they are not professionally trained. They will always give you their opinion of your best interest, but not all the time it works. Number 2, certain things you can't tell even your best friend. What happens then? Do you have a mentor, a coach that you work with where you can share these things? So if you crack on these 7 steps, right, finding your breakthrough is not going to be an issue. Why? You create clarity so you know exactly what you want, exactly where you're going. You find out what is preventing you, so you can find out what is preventing you, because then you can overcome those things, work on those things. You discover your compelling reasons, so there's something for you to remind yourself every time you feel like you're lagging down or you are demotivated, right? You figure out the right tools and strategies which is created specifically to give you the results that you want. You start taking action on them. Then you have a system that is proven to give you the results that you and the outcomes that you want, right? Then you have a support system and a mastermind of people who will always push you and support you. And you have accountability and confidence to get you to the other side. Now tell me, if you have these 7 steps sorted out, is it going to be difficult to find a breakthrough, right? Is it going to be difficult to find a breakthrough? Now I want you to look at the breakthrough you wanted to achieve, right? I want you to look at the breakthrough you wanted to achieve, whether it's improving your business to 5 times, or finding the love of your life, getting through your exam. And I want you to look at these 7 steps and ask yourself, what do I have to do, right? You have to first create clarity. How good are you? Where are you in this journey of achieving that? What kind of a gap you have? then you would know what exactly you have to do, right? And that is clarity. Finding what is preventing you, right? Ask yourself, why am I not achieving it right now? What is pushing me back? What is holding me back? Is it my mindset? Is it my state? Is it the story? Is it my laziness? Is it my procrastination? Because when you find it, you can say, I'm going to work on it. If you don't know, you can't work on it, right? Then discover your compelling reason. Now, you want to pass your exam. Why do I want to pass my exam? Is it because my parents are pushing me to? Or do I have a bigger compelling reason which can get me through the laziest days or the darkest days and say, you know what, today I'm going to somehow study. Or today I'm going to put the effort that I require to get to my goal. What is your compelling reason, right? Then maybe take a photo of it and paste it somewhere. So every time you see it, it just pumps your adrenaline and gives you that courage and the motivation that you require, right? Then finding the tools and the strategies to overcome what is preventing you and to get you step by step closer to what you want to achieve, right? Your tools, strategies, and taking action on it in a system that is proven to give you results, right? So if it's studying, you would know what are the tools and strategies that you can use, your past papers, your timetable, share brainstorming with your friends or whatever. If it's business success that you are looking for, what are the tools and strategies that are available for you to, get to the result that you want? And what kind of system can you use? Do you have access to a proven system to change your mindset, to change the results that you're getting? And who am I going to work around with? Am I going to do it alone, or am I going to study with my friends? Am I going to do it alone, and am I going to work with another set of people who want to achieve similar goals like I do, right? Do I have access to another business owner to brainstorm? Do I have another access to people who want to know more about relationships? Do I have access to people who want to become healthy and lose weight so I could maybe jog with them, right? And creating that circle. So you do that, saying, hey, let's all of us get together and go for a jog and create that a weekly thing. So you hold each other accountable and support each other. When one person is not coming for jogging, call him up and say, hey, you have been missing jogging for the last couple of days. Is everything all right? So you motivate that person. So if you create this ecosystem, what's going to happen is you are going to get through all the challenges and achieve your breakthrough. But you know what? A lot of people don't do it because they don't understand that growth happens outside your comfort zone. Like I said, you can't remain to be in your comfort zone and get the accomplishments that you want. You need to push yourself out of the comfort zone. You need to do things differently, right? And nothing changes if nothing changes. I really love this saying. Think of your age. Maybe you are 30, 35, 40, 45, I don't know, right? Or 20, 25. You have done certain things the last 20, 30, 40 years in a certain way. If you continue to do the same things, you would get the same results in the future also. So if you want a different result, what do you have to do? You have to do something different to what you have been doing the last 30, 40, 50 years. If you do something different, chances of you getting different results is much more higher. In fact, you would get different results if you do something different. So remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. So even today, if you just go back and do nothing about the breakthroughs that you want to achieve, right? About the life that you want to achieve, taking your life to the next level, overcoming your limiting beliefs and finding your true potential. If you don't do anything about it, nothing changes. And the best thing that I've heard is this, right? Pardon my language when I'm saying this, but what stands between you and your success are the bullshit stories that you tell yourself. And that's always true. Think of yourself right now and the success that you want to achieve. And what are some of these reasons that people tell themselves? They say, I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm not coming from that kind of a background of a family. I'm brown skinned. I'm white skinned. I'm fat. I'm thin, right? People are so good at finding reasons, right? Think of some area in your life and a reason, a BS reason that you have given yourself, and put it in the chat box. Let's look at some of the BS reasons that we give ourselves. I used to give a ton of BS reasons, right? So think about something that you want to achieve, which you said, I can't because maybe it's losing weight, maybe it's getting your six pack, maybe it's starting a business, maybe it's passing an exam, maybe it's asking that girl out or asking that guy out, whatever it is. Think and put it in the chat box, and let's make it fun, right? Let's make it a little bit lighthearted and fun. Tell me one of the biggest reasons you've given yourself in any area of your life. Just type something. Let's have fun, right? I'm not going to read out names, so you can practically type in anything. Share with everyone the biggest reason that you have given yourself. Okay, one participant says, because it's not mine, I won't feel unsafe. So when it comes to something like applying for a job in outstation, maybe let's say it's a good one. This person have been saying, it's not in my comfort zone. And I would tell myself, I feel unsafe, right? So you don't take action. Another participant says, I am too old. I know this participant is not old at all, but this chooses to say, I'm too old, right? I'm too busy to find time to work on my dreams. Now, this is a classic one, right? I'm too busy to find time to work on my dreams. Your dreams are so important to you, but you say, I'm too busy, right? How many times people say this, right? Another participant says, I didn't start my own business about a year ago as I'm too young, right? So people say, I'm too young and never even try, right? So these stories that we tell ourselves actually prevents us from even trying. Another participant says, it's too much of a big dream. So I try something smaller, right? Thinking small about yourself, not having that confidence saying, oh my God, I would love to have it, but it's too big for me to try even, right? And I think that would resonate with a lot of people, because a lot of people want to play safe, want to play small because you feel like that's too big for me. So you would never get big results, right? Because I remember one time when I worked with a company, I wanted them to tell me how much they're achieving right now and how much they want to achieve next year. They said 2 times. I said, why not 10 times? Everyone just froze. Everyone just froze. And the reality at the end of that exercise that we had, I showed the board of directors exactly how they can achieve 10 times. Because if you ask, how can I earn 10 times? You will find ways to find 10 times. If you ask yourself, why can't I earn 10 times? Your brain will give you enough and more reasons why you can't. Right questions give you right answers, right? So playing small is one of the biggest limiting beliefs people do, but it happens so often, right? There's another answer. I was busy with many reasons like office work, education, etc. So say I'm busy because I have office work. I'm busy because I have to study, and you don't even think about achieving your dream, right? Didn't go to meet the person I love, thinking that I don't look good, right? Self-love, self-worth, self-belief, right? Feeling not good about yourself. And the very same person, if you ask 5 other people, do I look good, right? People would say, absolutely, you look great, but you feel so small about yourself because it's a story that you tell yourself, and it prevents you. Now, in this person's case, didn't meet the person I love, didn't go to meet the person I love, right? I'm not good enough. Simply, a lot of people would say, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I don't deserve it, right? Once again, the stories that we keep on telling ourselves, right? So with these stories, how can we actually achieve something big in our life? With these stories, how can we achieve something big in our life? So this is why, ladies and gentlemen, I created this program, which I told you, which is called the Success Blueprint Express, which is designed to create maximum impact and help you change your mindset and give you the right tools and the formulas to change your life. And the people who have gone through this have got some remarkable results, remarkable breakthroughs. And there are people who are currently going through this process, making progress in their life like they have never made progress, right? And when I say this, I say it with conviction. Now, this is created specifically to give you the right tools and strategies, and a proven system that has been proven over 25 years to change your mindset, to help you discover yourself, and to give you the right set of tools through 5 different formulas with a ton of activities to get to where you want. And you get it along with the amazing support with all the other people, mastermind access, accountability, and the confidence, because you feel like you are not alone in this journey. You feel like there's someone to help you go through this 12-week journey. And this is created giving so much of attention and love, right, to all these different topics. I'm not going to go through each one of these topics. If you want, you can even take a screenshot to read later. But if you go to my website, you will find all these details as well. This is a proven system that I've created, right? I want to take 2 minutes of your time so you can hear from another person who has gone through this particular process. Dinili, if you're with us, can you share your experience in going through this program, finding breakthroughs in your life, so people can understand what has that process of getting breakthroughs in life has been and what kind of results you've got?
Hi guys. I've joined many international programs before. I joined the Success Blueprint, but I must say that this is probably the best investment I have ever made in my life. I say that because it truly was a life-changing experience. As Lien says, finding the right solutions is all about asking the right questions. And this is exactly what this program does. It is so well designed that it really makes you ask the right questions. The insights, the self-discoveries that I had during this program was actually really mind-blowing. I would say one of the biggest takeaways I had is discovering this negative code. Life is always a struggle that has been keeping me back, holding me back all my life. And this program helped me to convert it into an empowering code that actually life is a blessing and it's full of opportunities. And that's how I look at life now after this program. And I think another big takeaway from me was when I joined the program, I kept telling Lien and the others who were in the group that I'm very indecisive and I have never been a good decision maker. My parents all my life had kept on telling me, you need to learn how to make good decisions. But the thing is, as Lien said, no one really teaches you how to make good decisions. But I left this program confident that I am a good decision maker after the decision formula that Lien shared with us. And also, I had a beautiful experience in the inner child healing exercise that Lien did. I was able to make peace with the incident from my past of, I think, 20 years ago. And it was also a very fun experience to share all these insights with the group. I learned a lot from everyone else who shared as well. Thanks, Lien, for giving me this opportunity to share my experience.
Thank you, Dinli, for sharing your experience. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the power of a program that is created to find breakthroughs in a systematic process, right? And Dinli spoke about asking the right questions and decision making, right? So, next up, let me talk a little bit more about it and how you would apply it to a scenario where, let's say, you have to invest in yourself. Right now, usually, let's say I told you I'm going to make an offer for the Success Blueprint Express program, and it's totally up to you to take it, right? But usually, when it comes to a point like that, what do? We ask ourselves one question: can I afford it? And most of the time, 50% of the time, your brain would say no, because it's a 50-50 answer, right? Can I afford it? Yes or no. Now, there is a better way of asking the right questions to see whether you really want to do it and how you want to do it. So like I said, rather than asking, can I do it? Asking, how can I do it makes a big change, right? So let's say, as I said, I told you I'm going to make an offer. So I'm going to put some numbers on this screen. But before that, I want to ask you the right questions. Right? If you're not going to do the program, I have no issues. But if you want to change your life, if you feel like from what you've heard, this has something that can give you the breakthroughs that you want, I want you to ask the right questions so you take the right decision. Question number 1. The success blueprint seems like a program that can change my life. Right? The success blueprint seems like a program that can change my life. Can I get you to the chat box to give me a yes or a no? The success blueprint seems like a program that can change my life. It's a 12-week journey if you do it one-on-one. It's a 4-week journey if you do it as a course, made with tools and strategies to give you the breakthroughs that you want, right? So I have yeses coming in. Unfortunately, I'm the only one who can see this. But if you saw, you can see everyone is saying yes, 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 yes. So I'm getting a lot of yeses, right? Now I want you to ask a second question. Is it now or never? What I'm asking is, do you feel like, you know what, enough is enough? I really need to change my life. I need to do something right now. Or do I feel like, you know what, I'm just window shopping. I can go another 5 years, 10 years, the same way I am. Is it a now or never? Right? Tell me, do you feel like it's a now or never? So now, okay, now, yes, it's now. So if you feel like this is a great program and you have to take action right now, the third and the most interesting question I'm going to ask you is, does Lien seem like a person who can bring that change to me? I know some of you have only interacted with me for the last 2 hours. Some of you have gone through my social media channels, my YouTube channels, my TikTok videos that I do daily, a lot of inspiration. Some of you have come for my previous programs. Some of you have followed me for some time. But from whatever the experience do you have, do I seem like a person who can bring this change to you? Do you have that confidence? Thank you for the yeses with a lot of S's. I really appreciate it. Yes, yes, hell yes, yes, yes. So thank you for the vote of confidence, right? So if this program seems to be something that can change your life, right? And I get a honestly maybe as well. I appreciate the honesty, right? Because you need to get to know me more to have that confidence, right? So if this seems like a great program, if this feels like it's a now or never, right? If it feels like I'm still getting some answers, yes, changed a lot of things in my life already. Okay, thank you very much, right? And if I seem like a person who can deliver that change to you, if you have that credibility in me, the last question I want you to ask is, if time and money was not a problem, if time and money was not a problem, would I enroll in the success blueprint? So give me the final answer, and that's all I'm going to ask you. I'm not going to ask you any more questions. Go to the chat box and let me know. If time and money was not a problem, would I enroll? Definitely, yes, yes, of course, absolutely, definitely. But money is the problem at the moment. Limiting beliefs, yes. I said yes to all of them when I answered with you, Lien. Yes, super, right? So if the answer is yes to all those questions, what does it mean, right? It means that if time and money was not a problem, this would be something that you would absolutely do, right? Okay. So, like I said, Success Blueprint comes in 2 choices. One is the one-to-one coaching for a more discerning customer who likes this personal touch, where you sit with that person or you sit with me for 2 hours a week into 12 weeks, going through this 12-week journey. Or there's the Success Blueprint Express program, which happens in 4 occasions, 4 weeks, 4 classes of 8 hours each in a group program on a Zoom or a physical way in a hybrid session, right? Now, before going into that, I just have a message coming in from one of my participants called Indu. Indu is requested me to give her a small chance to say something. Indu, I would love to have you here. You can share with the room of the experiences that you had in the Success Blueprint Express February batch.
Thanks, Rian. Yes, I absolutely wanted to speak. I was also in the group with Dinali, and it was lovely meeting her and the few others at that time. So when I took this program, I was actually, I think after working non-stop, maybe for 12, 13 years, especially on the, I mean, almost daily updates on social media. I was very active on social. I just hit a kind of a dead end of last year. I think, I mean, I've known Lien a few years before this, and I've done one of the other programs with him. But at that time also, I was so determined that I wanted to focus on work and finances. And Lien kept telling me that I needed to balance, and I didn't listen. And when I hit this, brick, I realized I actually needed to balance my life. I need to rethink how to live my life. I'm not a kid, though I might look like one, but I realized I needed a method to really balance my life and to make it really successful in all ways. And to tell you the truth, like the Success Blueprint, I was very skeptical when I heard the name, but I knew Lien, so I knew he would give me something very good quality. But at the end of the program, I did realize, oh my God, this really is like a proper success blueprint for life, like the exact thing that I really was looking for, to the point that I can even create like a timetable for what I need to do every day to make sure that I balance everything out in my life. So I have a very fulfilling life without, tipping the scale into one side and like hitting that burnout point. So I really wish Rian did this program before, last year, so that they wouldn't have hit this, dead end. But I'm glad that I really glad that I took this opportunity. I was not really in the position to take it up, but I thought I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to get out of this rut. And I did. And I'm so grateful for Lien. And I'm so grateful for the friends I made as well. Thanks, Lien, this time.
Thanks, Sindhu. Really appreciate your comments and your feedback on the program. So guys, that is Indu Nanayakara, one of the participants from the February batch of Success Blueprint Express, another person who had some amazing breakthroughs, right? So now you must be wondering, what is this Success Blueprint? Yes, you showed as a program, but what exactly happens? What do you get, right? So it's a 12-week or a 4-week journey, depending on the options that you select, where all this knowledge from your in-depth study to your personality, then to your baselines, to your scanning through your negative codes and finding exactly what is holding you back, then discovering the breakthroughs that you want to discover, converting your negative codes to powerful, empowering codes, discovering your purpose and your passion, then creating a thought flow of gratitude and abundance. So, all the good things that you have been manifesting starts getting attracted to you, going back in the time through a time machine and healing your childhood wounds, that completes your 6 weeks, 6 weeks of ultimate self-discovery. Then you get to discover your decision-making formula, your success formula, your make more time formula, your happiness formula, and your champion formula. Now, champion formula helps you to create, select your goals and apply this formula to achieve those things that you really want in life. And you get accountability afterwards also, right? And even after the program, I have my coaches working with me who would be with you, following up with you to see whether you have made progress. So after the 3 months or the 1 month, or what based on whatever the program you select, you don't get left alone. You still get support. You get calls, you get messages. So that's the best thing about how I work and how my team works, because we truly care about people and how they change their lives. So you get this sense of amazing camaraderie and the feeling of being a part of a family rather than going to a program, learning something and coming back. How many of you have gone for a training, learned something amazing, come back, and that's the end of it, right? This is not the end of that journey. We would meet once a month. We would do activities. You would get exclusive access to some of the programs I do. We would be in touch. So you grow with other people who really want to succeed in life. And when you join the program, you get access to the mastermind groups and monthly Q&A sessions that we would be holding. And for the moment, whoever who signs up right now would get this benefit as a lifetime benefit. Somewhere down the line in this year, I'm looking at monetizing it. So whoever who wants to get into the mastermind group will have to pay. Whoever who's joining right now in the current programs will get this as a lifetime benefit as they go ahead. You get access to my private Facebook group. You get access to, you get accountability to achieve your goals, like I said. And even throughout that time, if you have an emotional problem, you have access to me and my coaches to call and say, hey, coach, I'm going through something like this. Can I have a chat with you? Can I have help? Because that is priceless, because life is full of ups and downs. And at the end of the program, you get access to your own success blueprint. There is a picture here. You can see it's a board that you would fill with all the things that you have discovered, which can go on a wall, which you can always see, right? Which will give you the right tools and the questions to ask to overcome your challenges. Now, I'm going to show you something very interesting, right? Some of you must be wondering, okay, everything seems to be good, but how expensive it is, right? So I'm going to show you some numbers for you to decide whether this is something for you. And once again, I'm not holding you obliged to select this, right? But if it is for you, let me know. I'm willing to do anything possible to make it possible for you. Now, Success Blueprint one-on-one is at your own will. You can select any dates because it's a one-on-one session. But the Express program happens on these 4 days, which are Saturdays. So the last Saturday of March, then 2nd, 9th, and 23rd are Saturdays of April. We are missing out on the weekend where Aurudu is because it's a long weekend. But all these are 4 Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sri Lankan time. FC, if you are interested, you will have to convert time and see how it is from Philippines. It will happen on Zoom and physical as a hybrid. So if we have more people who are saying physical is needed, we'll have a physical session with Zoom access to participants who are not available physically. But if everyone wants to have it on Zoom, we will have it as a Zoom program as well. All the possibilities are there. And why we do it like that is because of, there are so many problems in Sri Lanka, power cuts to, petrol and all that. So some people who want to join from the comfort of your home, you have that option. Some people who want to physically come, you have that option as well. Now, I will show you the value of the program. I don't want you to fall off the chair when you see the value, but this is the value of the program. Now, this being a program that I internationally pitch, the formatting is off, but let me read it out for you, right? The total value of the program is $6,350, which is close to about 1.8 million Sri Lankan rupees. $3,000 for the 12-week coaching, $250 for the in-depth personality test, access to the coach, a value of $1,000, access to all the workshops during that time is a value of $900, and mastermind discussions, a value of $1,200. But you don't have to pay $6,350 or 1.8 million rupees. For one-on-one, the usually it's $3,000, which is 840,000 rupees. But for you, if you want the one-on-one session because you participated in this program, you get a special price of 600,000 Sri Lankan rupees or 2149 US dollars. And on the other hand, the Express program, the 4-week group coaching program, comes at 280,000 Sri Lankan rupees or 997 USD. But because you participated in this program, you get it at a special price of 125,000 or 449 USD. But here's the deal. I like to work with people who take action. So if there is anyone who would like to take action right now and commit yourself to this program, I am willing to give you even a better deal if you make a payment while on this call, or let's say maximum 12 o'clock midnight. Right? So you have 12 hours, but here's the thing. If you don't make a commitment right now, your subconscious will start negotiating with you, and your chances of overcoming your breakthroughs will only go further. So for those who would really like to make a change right now, if you make a payment right now, there's a special price of 500,000 rupees or $1,799 for one-on-one, or 95,000, which is a 30,000 rupee discount, or $339 for the group coaching program. Now, this is the lowest I have ever pitched this particular program, and that you can get it if you are ready to take action right now. And for those who are wondering, can I make payments in installments? We have tied up with MyFace. This platform will be available within the next couple of days, where you can use any credit card and actually go into installment payments, spread it across 1 year or so, and make it more affordable for you. But what you have to do as a step number one is to make an initial deposit of 10,000 Sri Lankan rupees or 100 USD. Office would be putting the links on the chat right now, right? The links are there. So there's one link for Sri Lankan participants in terms of LKR, and for foreign participants in terms of USD. All you have to do is just click on this link, put your card details, and make a payment right now to reserve your seat. And by reserving the seat, you get that special price. And more than the price, ladies and gentlemen, this is about you changing your life, you getting the breakthroughs you want, and you finding the set of people who would move ahead with you in finding your true self, your true potential, and making it your journey. So if you want to improve your business, start a new business, resign from your 9 to 5 and to find real happiness, improve on your relationships, lose weight, become a better version of you, pass through your exams with flying colors, or improve your family relationships, or whatever it is, or become a happier you, your goal is only 10,000 rupees away. And based on how I have taken decisions and it has worked for me every time, my advice is only focus in the 10,000 that you have to pay right now. Don't think about how I'm going to sort out the rest, because if you make this commitment, the rest will happen. And I have a lot of students who have taken their decisions like that, and I'm really happy that it has worked out for them, right? And from my side, I will do anything and everything possible to make it work for you. So until you take action and do that, I have 2 questions to ask you, right? Share with me one breakthrough that you had today, right? A breakthrough could be a realization saying, oh my God, I didn't realize this before, but this will help me to find my breakthrough, right? Can I have few people going on there and sharing one breakthrough that you had today, right? If you don't have a breakthrough today, commit to one breakthrough that you are going to find by applying what you have learned. Who would like to go first? Who would like to go first? Because when you make a commitment, you are actually giving a nonverbal signal to your subconscious to achieve that breakthrough as well, right? Hassan, how about you?
Yes, honestly, I learn about a lot because once I in chat box I said like I have busy with my education and office life as well. Then you said like you don't even have to go for your dreams. That was a main point that I really get highlighted on this session, and there are some lot of things that I have learned from this 3 hours of period.
Super. Thank you very much. Jivendra, can we hear from you? You've been silent. Can you share one breakthrough you had today, if not a breakthrough that you would want to commit to achieve? Jivendra, if you're with us. Okay, if not, can I have Menuri to share?
Yes, surely. So for me, like I said, I wanted to be a public speaker and have a lot of like taking a lot of opportunities in public speaking. So I workshops. I joined for your sessions and got more knowledge about it. So what I got from today is I got to know that when I have bad beliefs in my life, I should go through it and I should throw those things away and focus on what I want. Then I can have what I want. Actually, and also when I
Sorry, you're breaking up, Manuri. We lost you. Superb. In the meantime, I have a question in the chat box asking, how can I get to know more details? Yes,
yes,
Manuri, if you're back.
sorry, I had the power cut. That's why I'm breaking.
Right.
If it is okay to switch off the camera and
Yes,
talk.
please. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, sure. So as I told, I wanted to develop my speaking abilities and not speaking, especially public speaking. So when I started to focus on it, since I joined for a job and since we are working with a lot of foreign clients. I had a lot of negative minded people around me since I joined for my first job. Not my, yes, actually. When I passed these obstacles, I chose some positive minded people and I chose my own pattern to develop my skills. So I think last month I had a chat with Lian, and what he said was, Manuri, you should don't compare your life with others. Compare yourself with your past and do the things for the future. That's what he said, and actually I'm doing it, and I think my self is better than my last month's self. Like you said, I created my own strategy and own timeline to pass my challenges, and this is the main challenge what I have in my life. Since I am more focusing on my career, I am doing a lot for my career and my studies. This is the main thing what I learned from you, and thank you to you, Lian. When I want, you taught me a lot how to go through these obstacles. And now I found my own way to develop my own skills.
Superb. Thank you, Manuri, for that feedback. That's awesome. Good to hear. And keep on doing what you're doing. And I'm sure you would get to your goal. And until we talk to the next few people, there was a question on the chat box asking, how can I get more details? So I'm just going to run this poll. Just a simple question, just answer it. If you require a call back for further clarifications after this program, just say yes. If you are interested, if you want more details, someone will get in touch with you. Sometimes I might call you and we'll have a chat and we'll give you that necessary information, right? You might want to ask, how does this work? When is this, or whatever it is, right? If it's a no, just give a no, that's perfectly fine. So we know who actually wants to hear from us, who doesn't want to hear from us. And in the meantime, can I invite Paul to share your experience? If you had a breakthrough today, please share. And if not, if you want to commit yourself to finding a particular breakthrough, please share with the group. If you can unmute and talk, Paul.
Well, one thing that stood out was the part of discovering a compelling reason, which sometimes is very lacking. And that in turn also leads to the point of, where you have to take action, and the action leading to results and self-belief and so on. So for me, I think definitely I need to find a compelling reason and then translate that into actually putting things into action, because procrastination has always been a hurdle for me. It's always tomorrow will be a better day to start than today. So definitely, I think if there is a very good compelling reason, then putting things into action becomes a lot easier. So I think those 2 points definitely stood out for me today.
Super. Thank you very much, Paul, for that share. Can I hear from Epsi? Epsi, if you're there, would you be able to share with us one breakthrough you had today, something that you learned today with the rest of the group? So we have Epsi, Fatina. Yes, Epsi, go ahead.
There's that you should have a very compelling reason to have a breakthrough.
Mm-hmm. That's the main thing that you learned today, is it?
Yes.
Okay,
So you
super.
have to know that one.
Super. That really makes a big difference, because if you don't have a compelling reason, you can't get through those days which really drags you down. I've felt that as well. Fatina, Malisha, if you're here with us, please feel free to share something with the group. One breakthrough that you had today, something that you really learned that can be useful. Yes, Malisha.
Today, which I like breakthrough, which I discovered in the first when you talk about like what is a breakthrough. So at that time, I told that my breakthrough, which I want to, was discovering my better self. So today during this session, I thought like stepping out of my comfort zone to discover my better self. Because even if still I am in my comfort zone, I won't able to recognize the new network of people with positive minds, and I would be still with the negative minds of people around me, like back in up to now, from which I was from, like still from the school days and on. So I thought of like stepping out of my comfort zone and discovering myself. That's all. Thank you.
Super. Thank you very much. Anyone else who would like to share their breakthroughs today? Fatina, yes?
Can you hear me?
You will have to speak a bit loud.
Can you hear me now?
Slightly, yes, but better if you can speak a little bit loud or closer to the mic.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Much better.
Yeah, the breakthrough which I went through was like I have to improve myself and be consistent in my career because I'm still a student. And the other thing is what I learned from the process currently is that I think I better not think about the past, which is full of regret, and the future, which is full of anxiety, and live in the present and work towards my career, what I want to achieve in life, and live in the present. So I hope to follow the process and let's see what happens.
Super. Great. Thank you very much. So guys, with that, I would like to open the floor for any questions. If you have any questions about your breakthroughs, about achieving your breakthroughs, please feel free to ask. Now would be the time for any and every question that you have. If you don't have any questions, basically, finally, on an ending note, I would just remind you, take action, right? The 2 links for the Success Blueprint Express program or the other program, just to commit yourself, is there in the chat box. Copy and paste it somewhere, because after this finishes, you would not have access to those links. The point to change your life is just 10,000 rupees away, and that's a relatively smaller action for you to take, right? And don't compromise on that, asking questions like whether I would be able to afford it, would I have time? Because if you really want to do it, you would do it, right? If you really think that you deserve that change in your life, you would do it, right? Malisha says, I have a question. Malisha, please go ahead and ask.
Yeah. Then I have a question like, for me, what holds me back, like, I've been called for an interview, so in the next week, so it is out of station, it's in Colombo, so I'm in Nikambo at the moment, so I was not allowed to travel out station for any job so far, because in my comfort zone, I was allowed only in Nikambo, so if I go there, I would be like meeting people, and also, so as to now, like stepping out of my comfort zone, like can you give just an advice or something, like how I should like?
You said you are currently in Colombo, is it?
No, I'm currently in Nikambo.
currently in Nigambo, and your problem is you have got a job opportunity that is
In
outside
Colombo.
your city in
Yeah,
Colombo,
yeah.
and you are reluctant to take that because you feel like it's a hassle.
Yeah, it's kind of unsafe and all, like coming home on the train or like when it
Yeah.
becomes 7 or 8, like kind of.
Right. So if you want to take a decision there, what exactly is your question, right? Number one is figuring out your question, figuring out whether it's a good decision to take, or is it a question about safety? If your question is it safe for me as a girl to be traveling late in the train every day? It becomes a different question to is it a worthwhile opportunity, right? Because if you're asking whether it's a worthwhile opportunity, I would advise you to list down all the pros and cons in this job opportunity, right? If I get this job, I will get these things. If I get this job, if I take this job, these disadvantages are there, coming in late, going in late, all these things. So once you do that, you can take a informed decision. I'm not going to tell you take the job or don't take the job, because it's not for me to tell you to take the job or don't take the job. But what I can do is I can help you to create clarity so you can take the right decision. So if I were you, what I would do is I would list down the pros and cons. So I know exactly whether the pros outweigh the cons or the cons outweigh the pros, the advantages versus disadvantages, right? The good things versus the bad things. Because if you do that, you would know which side you can really justify. And sometimes when you're taking a decision related to the job, you need to list these things, because sometimes traveling far, the time allocated, you have to consider all that. And see, your time has a value. And if you're going to spend, let's say, 4 hours every day in transport, you can ask yourself, can you find a job that is closer to you, where you don't have to spend that 4 hours, whether that 4 hours value can be taken in a different way, and whether that would be a better option, right? So always I would say list down your pros and cons, list down your benefits and disadvantages, so you can actually take a better informed decision, right? Would that help, Malisha?
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Ladies and gentlemen, if there are no questions, we are winding up for today. I'm really thankful for the time that you spent here. And I would like to take an opportunity to thank everyone behind the screen who made this possible as well. From my co-host to, okay, Menuri says, cannot copy the link to the from the chat box. Okay, Menuri, we would be sending the payment link and the payment instructions to practically all the participants then on mail and WhatsApp. Then you can take it on from there. Basically, as I was saying, big thank you for everyone who participated, as well as thank you very much for all the people behind the screen, everyone who supported, my co-hosts, my fellow coaches, from the back office, from the person who made these wonderful slides, to everyone else who has put together their brains to give out this free workshop as value to those who are participating. So I hope you gathered something from today's workshop. And once again, thank you very much for participating. One last request, look me up on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok. Follow me, because like I said, I use my social media professionally. So even if you add me as a friend on Facebook, even if you don't know me personally, it doesn't matter. You would see tons of videos done by me every day or very frequently, which are motivating, inspiring as well. And I'm sure you'll get to know more about the free workshops that I'm doing. And be tuned for the next upcoming workshops that we are going to do in April. There are some very good ideas that we are discussing right now. I'm not going to break the news so far, but please keep in touch and get to know about them as well. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time, for coming for Unstuck and Breakthrough. I hope you got value from the time that you spent. And if you choose to work with me for Success Blueprint 101 or Success Blueprint Express, please get in touch with me or my team, and we would love to guide you through the next few steps. And we would be starting on the 26th of March, if I remember the date correctly, which is the last Saturday of this month. And we would take you on that amazing journey. So thank you very much once again.
Thank you, Tulian.
Thanks, Lian.
Thank
Have a
you
good
so
day,
much.
everyone.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone. All the best.